know, the bad thing about the shooting that took place last weekend, Sutherland Springs, Texas, is that it's been less than 1 week and our country has already forgotten about it. 1 week. I could go on and on about the politics of it, but it's heartbreaking to know that in that small church, it was extremely small, that the congregation was less than 50 people. 27 were killed. Another 20 plus were wounded. This guy walked up and down the aisles, back and forth shooting people. He didn't shoot each person twice, he shot each person several times. And what bothers me is the emergency egress plan, or the emergency action plan as it's called, for active shooters. It's been so ingrained in us already that what we need to do is get down underneath something and hide. Well, you're not dealing with a tornado or a hurricane, so you don't need to get down on the ground and hide. You need to run. According to the Department of Homeland Security, their basic steps for dealing with any active shooter are run, hide, barricade, and fight. Okay, let me say that again. Run, being the most important, hide, barricade, and fight. What's heartbreaking is the people saw this guy coming when he was outside. He started shooting from the front right side of the church, throwing shots towards the church, shooting through the windows, the walls, just shooting crazily. So they saw him coming. An eyewitness that was there said that the Sunday school teacher told everybody to get down and hide. If any of you have ever been in a church, I know most people don't go to church anymore, but if you've ever been into a church, you realize that there is no place to get down and hide, with the exception of being underneath the pew. That's it. And that doesn't work because we know that in Columbine, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold walked all through the library as well as other areas of the school, cafeteria as well. People were under the tables and they were looking at them and laughing at them as they were smiling and shooting at them, executing them. So we know that just getting down and hiding doesn't work. I don't know why people think, well, I do. It's because people freeze and panic and then all they have left is hope. Hope doesn't fix things, people. Hope does not save your life. Action does. So the people all got down. One mother covered her children. One of her children survived. The mother lost her life because she covered her own body, or covered her own children's body with hers. Woman's a hero. And this dirty coward who committed this heinous act got what he deserved from a law-abiding citizen, a rightful gun owner, legal gun owner, who had the balls to take action. Even though he stated that he was afraid, he was terrified, but he knew that he had to do something. That man's a hero in my book. If I can say anything else, what bothers me is eyewitnesses that were there all said the same thing. I never thought it would happen to me. My question to you is, why not? What makes you so special that you think that you'll never be exposed to something like this? How do you know that you'll never be in a situation like this? I've had students that have been killed in gunfire. I've had friends who have been killed in gunfire. And people look at me every day, even in my gym. I have parents and students and guests that come in and they'll look at me. I've even had people tell me on social media, I'll never be in that position because I don't go to places like that. Church? Really? Think about that. There should be no place that you should be safer than in a church. Unfortunately, that's not true anymore, but there shouldn't be. I don't know what to say to anybody other than this was the worst kind of tragedy. I've heard politicians, I've heard people, I've seen people on social media even call the Christians that are reaching out the equivalent of the Taliban. You are sick if you can make a statement like that and you actually believe it. The Taliban, who cuts women's noses off, who performs genital mutilation, who perform public executions in the middle of town by stoning people to death, acting like barbarians from the Stone Age, and you want to call somebody because they pray the equivalent of the Christian Taliban? You should be ashamed of yourself. Now, looking at the media, Don Lemon, Chris Cuomo, everybody from the Clinton News Network, they were all dying to get comments out. Just dying about, don't you think we need more gun control? Trying to put people on the spot, trying to embarrass them. It's not about gun control, it's about crazy people. And then you want to take away our rights to defend ourselves. If you're ever in a situation like this, you need to run. Get down as fast as you can, assess the situation. Run, then hide. If you can't hide any further, barricade your position, and last resort's fight. This is Bob Smith. Blood makes you related and loyalty makes you family. Out.